Welcome to John Eats Cheap. I've got a little leftover bacon, and I always have shrimp in the freezer, raw shrimp. And I had a flashback to a really expensive wedding reception we went to, I don't know, probably 10, 15 years ago. It was really, really good. Bacon wrapped shrimp. We're going to try it in the air fryer today on John Eats Cheap. Now with my shrimp, I always use raw shrimp. By the way, Fresh Time is a great place to buy raw shrimp. We get the 16 to 20 count, which are pretty good sized, this size, for $5.97 a pound. I always take the shells off. I thaw them out. I take the shells off and save the shells because I use those for shrimp stock or seafood stock, which is really easy. Just put all the shells into some water and simmer it for an hour. You've got seafood stock. So I'm taking the shells off. I'm going to leave the tails on. I forgot on the first one. But I'm going to leave the tails on because we're going to wrap these with bacon. And that's the way bacon wrapped shrimp usually come, with the tail on. And we're going to cook these in the air fryer. I've never done this. I've never seen a recipe for it. So we're going to play it by ear. But for breakfast, we had bacon this morning. And I saved 3 strips of bacon, of which we'll use half of that bacon. I'm just going to leave the very end tail portion on. Shrimp shells into a big baggie, into the freezer. We can add to it later. That's going to make some great seafood stock. Now normally I would season these shrimp, but since we're putting bacon on them, that's a lot of good flavor. Now I did 3 pieces of bacon and I cut them in half. So I'm going to put the half pieces of bacon around the shrimp. Yeah, I'm not going to use a toothpick or anything. I'm hoping this will be fine without the toothpick. First time I had these was in the Bahamas at a pool party in the Bahamas. Bacon wrapped shrimp. And they were so good. So we'll see how they do homemade. Using shrimp from the freezer, cheap bacon that's left over. Just try and cover all of the shrimp. This is actually better covering and easier than I thought it would be. Bacon's pretty pliable, so it'll cover pretty well. You want to use raw shrimp because cooked shrimp would probably overcook for as long as it'll take for the bacon. I'll probably do these I'll try it at 400 for about 6 or 7 minutes, then see if I need to flip the shrimp. We want the bacon to get crisp, but the shrimp not to get overcooked. Now this is a thick cut bacon. I would use thin, preferably, I think, because that would cook quicker. Shrimp doesn't take long to cook at all. But this is thick. This is what I had. And we're all ready to go. I got 6 bacon wrapped shrimp ready to go to the air fryer. 6 bacon wrapped shrimp. What a great appetizer. These were so good when I had them. I'll try and put the fold side down since I'm not doing toothpicks. You could do toothpicks. I would probably soak them first. So I'm going to put these in and try and space them apart a little bit. Put that guy down. And as I say, I left the tail on all but one of these. Try and space them apart so that bacon can get crispy. No seasoning, just using the flavor of the bacon. We're going to do these at 400 degrees. I'm going to start them at 7 minutes and see how they look. 6 minutes, 400 degrees on the bacon wrapped shrimp. Not too bad. You know what? I think I'm going to go another 2 minutes on this side and then we'll flip them. There they are, 8 minutes in, 400 degrees, bacon wrapped raw shrimp. As you can see, the bacon is sticking pretty well. I'm going to flip them over to do the other side. I didn't put any seasoning on it. And it's imperative to use raw shrimp. If you use cooked shrimp, they'll be totally overcooked. So now we're going to go on this side. I'm going to say 4 minutes. John Eats Cheap. Now, this is kind of an expensive bacon-wrapped shrimp. Kind of considered an expensive appetizer, but the bacon was cheap, $1.99 a pound. The shrimp was cheap, 16 to 20 count, raw, shell on at Fresh Time for $5.97 a pound. 8 minutes, flipped them, 4 minutes in the air fryer. Very hot. And very good. Very important that you use raw shrimp. But the bacon crisped up great in that amount of time. Very happy with that. A great uppity appetizer, but John Eats Cheap. Thanks for watching.